Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Boo from Mile High Distilling. I'm very excited to bring this video to you because you might notice things look a little different. Behind me is not our usual scenery. We're usually over at Bomber Peak Distillery. However, as much as we love those guys, they've been so phenomenal to us. We have to switch things up because we now own a distillery. This is ours. This is our location. I'm so excited to bring you guys more information on this distillery. As it develops, we're going to have a new distillery here in Colorado. If you haven't already, please be sure to get your notifications on these videos. We're definitely going to be getting a nice video done, kind of showing everything with the distillery. We have some construction work to be done first, a few kinks to work out, and then we're there. Now, also, you're free to look down below in the description, see all the rest of our social media. Be sure to keep up with that because we're going to be posting things as they come. And then also, be sure, if you haven't already, to go to our site, milehidistilling.com. As soon as you enter that site, you should get a registry form. Go ahead and register for our newsletter, and that's going to have a ton of info. Now, in the meantime, while you're waiting for us to set up, please be sure to go down to one of Bomber Peak Distillery's 2 locations. We really want to show them some love. So if you're a supporter of this channel, if I can ask you guys, urge you guys to please visit them. They have been so amazing and gracious to us, letting us use their space. In fact, a lot of the videos that you've come to know and love on this channel and learned a thing or two from this channel wouldn't have been possible without them sharing their space. So as part of like a farewell gift, part of it, I really want to show them some love. So go on down to that distillery, let them know who sent you, and thank you for if you can do that. All right, now, let's talk a little bit more about what we're doing here today. So here at our distillery, and man, that sounds good to say, so you're gonna hear it a lot today. We're gonna be making some red rum in spirit of my favorite holiday, Halloween. So how are we gonna get red rum? Well, we don't really know fully yet, and that's what I love about it. My favorite thing, hands down, in this craft is experimenting with different flavor combos, different additives that I can add post-process, different things I can do to really change my spirit and make it unique. So we have a rum, and as far as how we're gonna get this rum red, well, we'll play around with a few things. I've got several different things in mind. We're gonna talk more about what this fermentation is. This isn't just your normal rum, as well as what we're going to be working with on our flavor combos, our coloring combos, a little bit more in the future. I wanna get this still starting, so give us 1 sec, we'll be right back, and the still should be going soon. All right, the run has begun here. So let's talk a little bit more while we're going through our heads on what this fermentation is. Now, a while ago on this channel, not that long ago, we did a how to make a Dunder rum video. If you haven't watched that video, look right here in this corner, go ahead and click that card, and that'll bring you to the video. Dunder is a type of rum, traditionally like a Jamaican rum, I'd say. And how it's made is a little bit interesting as well. We're not just using molasses. What we're doing is we're doing that at first. We're making just a regular rum out of molasses, brown sugar, vanilla sugar, a mix of all 3, whatever. We're making a rum, and what we do is we distill that rum. Now, after we distill it, we take our semi-solids, all the muck found in the bottom of our fermenter, and we basically store that away. We finish the rum, and then we're gonna take the low percentage alcohols, you know, down to maybe 5, 10%, and pour that in, sort of that back set from that run in as well. We're gonna pitch some fresh vanilla sugar or molasses, some fresh yeast, and that starts a very first fermentation of Dunder. Now there are some stories, and they are myths, but they're stories nonetheless, of some of these muck pits used to make Dunder being filled with rotting goat heads and chicken carcasses and things like that. The bacteria in there is supposedly good for the rum. Now, in the spirit of Halloween, we had to try, didn't we? So, we didn't have enough at the butchery for as much as we needed. We had to improvise a little bit. I think you might notice that my dog Crush hasn't been here with us in quite some time in these videos. No, honestly, so we made a rum, we made a Dunder. We cheated, not really. It's just a a pretty typical way when you don't have access to carcasses to make it. And we are distilling that now. Now, traditionally, I feel like dunder rums are supposed to be a multi-generational recipe. It's something to where, again, we talked about how we get a dunder. Basically, after you do all that, you take this dunder, you run it through, and then you rinse and repeat that process. You're gonna take the semi-solids from that dunder, take the back set from this dunder rum, put it into the next batch, pitch fresh yeast, rinse and repeat for 3, 4, 5 generations, who knows. That was originally our plan, but now we have an amazing head distiller here, Chris Shores, and really, I think since he has curiosity and wants to try a dunder himself, let's leave the multi-generational to him. He is leagues above what I could do. I think we're just gonna have fun with our dunder now that we know we're making more. So, what better way than to turn it red in the spirit of the holidays, see what we can do. As far as how we're gonna turn red, again, we're gonna try a few different things. We're gonna start pretty easy here. Our first batch is really just gonna be a red food dye, nothing more. We're still gonna be able to now taste the flavor of that dunder and get an unadulterated profile of what that dunder would be if we kept it just unaltered. And then we also turn it red. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then from there, we're gonna get a little crazier. We will talk more about that. I don't wanna spoil any surprises. Let's go ahead and finish up our heads. Let's get some red food dye in and see what jar number 1 will do. All right, heads have been passed into our first jar of hearts, fully collected. Second one going to the still right now. Let's begin test number 1. That's gonna be our red food dye. So I'd call that a decent red color, but we're wanting like blood red. We're wanting something a little darker than that. So let me add a little bit more. But first, I want to get started on our second experiment. I think our next test is going to be strawberries for color. We're going to put some up in our pro chamber here and get some of that strawberry flavor out. And then we're also going to infuse with them after the jar is done. That's going to hopefully give us some color. But I don't want to stop there. I want to get a little more creative with it. I think a good pairing for that is also going to be cream. We're going to try to make like a strawberries and cream rum, and hopefully, if we have good flavor, we also see that in color. I think that cream is going to lighten our color a little bit. We can always add some food dye and maybe make it darker. We'll have to see. I want to test, but let me get these in my chamber real quick. That's more like it. That's more like it right there. That's what we want. So I'd say test number 1 is a pass. All right, so second jar is pulled. That's gonna have our strawberry in there. That strawberry infusion did seem to work. It gave us a hint. We need to go ahead and start our strawberries and cream though. So what we did is we took some strawberries, we took some dairy-free cream because as far as I understand it, things will curdle past a certain proof. We're at 130 proof. I'm gonna guess that's gonna curdle. Could be wrong, but don't really wanna find out. So we mixed everything together in a blender. We also added some red food dye to increase that coloring just a little bit. We're gonna get this in. It's probably gonna be absolutely delicious, but I realized that we never taste tested our first jar. Got some beautiful red color there. I think now is a good time to remind y'all, if you're enjoying what you see here, please be sure to like this video. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're gonna have some fun videos like this every single week, at least so far. Hopefully I don't ever miss a week. If you haven't already, down below in that description is going to be all our other social media. Please be sure to follow that. Do what you got to do there. And let me know how you like this video. Leave some comments down below. Let me know some different things that I could have maybe tried. Maybe something I did wrong, something I did right. Let me know what y'all are thinking, okay? And here, boys and girls, we're going to take a shot just to commemorate the occasion. Get the most spooky drink you possibly can. I don't know what that means, but grab something that's in the season, and let's take a shot together. Appreciate you folks. Yeah, that's a really nice rum. As far as being different than the initial rum we used to create this dunder, there's definitely some key differences. I would say this is more on the high esterification side. Our other rum was very high ester. It had a lot of really nice tropical banana notes. This is that, but then also, like, for lack of a better word, it just feels a little more cultivated, a little more well-rounded. It's not just full power on a certain fruit note or anything. It's really just blended and easy to drink. Really nice spirit altogether. I'm glad we at least have one jar that's kind of left unaltered in terms of flavor. We're about to change that though. This strawberries and cream, even like the liquid in the blender, was amazing. Now we're gonna put alcohol on top of that. Sign me up, man. Let's get at it. And so as far as color goes, I wouldn't say it's quite there as red as I want it with blood. Honestly, with test number 1 being a success, I think I'm less worried. I've already achieved the color I want, and I know I can add more food dye to darken that color if need be. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes though. Ooh. That wasn't quite what I thought it would be. I think I have some cream and some strawberries left over. I think we're gonna try dividing this jar up a little bit, adding a little more of this cream, which I have a lot left over on, and see if we can get that carrying over a little bit more. All right, so we've proofed down pretty considerably on the strawberries and cream. It's still just not carrying over the way I want it to. It's better each time we add a little more cream and decrease alcohol content, but it's not quite there. So Chris, master distiller over here at our new distillery, is going to do a few things. Let's see if he can work it out for us. In the meantime, we're gonna start with infusion 4. So infusion 4 is going to be maraschino cherries and coconut. We've done this combo before, turned out great. So we've got our next jar filling up right now. We're gonna go ahead, let it run through, and see what we can do. All right, jar number 4, cherry coconut out of the still. Now I'm a little bit in tails. I can tell there's definitely some fuses in here. It's a little bit cloudy. But as far as overall smell goes, straight up coconut. Let's give it a taste real quick. But we're gonna do a few extra things in here to get that color. Not bad. I really wish I had done a little bit better of a cut on my end. I think we unfortunately missed out a little bit on this jar, what it could have been. But overall, not bad. Cherry and coconut are coming over. Less so in the taste, more in the smell. However, we have a ton of maraschino cherry juice. Let's go ahead and add some of this as well as some coconut in there and see what that can transform into. All right, on to the next infusion. We're going to be trying some pomegranate seeds and some mandarin oranges just for that nice flavor combo. And then hopefully those seeds are gonna give that color we're looking for. We still have some food dye if not. All right, so not quite getting the flavor that we really wanted out of that orange pomegranate. We went ahead and doubled up our volume in our chamber here, trying to get more of that over. Let's see what that does, but we still have to work with what we've got. Let's go ahead and see how these pomegranate seeds will flavor or will color our jars. Yeah, I doubt we're gonna get our color out that way. Let's add some food dye. That'll do it. So I'd say palm orange infusion is going to be called a failure. As far as flavor goes, there you can smell orange a little bit. Flavor is not quite there. And also, unfortunately, those pomegranate seeds don't look to be doing much with color. Chris, over here at our distillery, has mentioned we're gonna try to muddle some of this in probably tomorrow and see what happens then. We might get a little more flavor out and maybe it'll change color. I don't know. But for now, for the purpose of this video, we're gonna call this test a failure. However, that's our first failure of the day. Everything else is looking pretty good. Colors are a little bit off in our strawberries and cream, but it makes up for it mostly in the taste. I'd call it a 7, 8 out of 10. I would say our cherry coconut is by far the best. Flavor's coming over extremely well, and we're getting that blood red color that we initially wanted. And then of course we do have our dunder red, just our red food dye in our dunder. Obviously that tastes like it should, that nice funky dunder, and it's got the color. So all in all, we're doing pretty well. We're gonna start with the next experiment. What this one's gonna be is what I have in this chamber is going to be pineapples. Now I have solid pineapple as well as Chris over here recommended we actually blend some up, turn it into sort of a puree, and drop some in there. So hopefully we get a lot of pineapple flavor over. And then our plan is to complement that pineapple as well as give you that color. We're gonna add some chamoy. Now, we've worked with chamoy in the past. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and click this card right here. We made our watermelon chamoy in honor of Mexican Independence Day, and just because, really. And it worked. It worked for the most part. I wanna see how pineapple does, because the best thing I've ever made, at least as far as I'm concerned on this channel, is our pineapple brandy. Pineapple, chamoy, let's see what that does. We're definitely gonna get the color, but will the flavor come out? Bam, there's our final test infusion. That is chamoy and pineapple.
I don't taste any pineapple.
No, me either. All right, so a few things went wrong with this last jar, which is why I didn't get my beautiful shot where I have the ingredients being infused directly like I wanted to. My mind's gone a little bit askew here. A lot of things have gone on in the last 15 minutes, and I'm just not at where I need to be. One thing is that apparently I am in my tails. This run has lasted half the time as my first batch of Dunder, which you saw in the first part of this video did. I couldn't tell you why. They're both at 11% ABV. I got 9 jars out of our first run. Went to run our second batch, and I'm at the 4th jar and somehow in my tails. Couldn't tell you why, but I am. So what we're tasting now is watered down, which is affecting our spirit in terms of flavor. Also, no pineapple flavor carrying over at all. Even before the chamoy was added, nothing. So not quite sure what went on there. I will say in terms of color, that chamoy does a pretty good job. It's giving that gunky, almost like a blood clot artery type look, which, as creepy as that sounds, I really wanted. So at least we accomplished that portion of things. Overall flavor, all you really taste is chamoy in this jar. So that flavor pairing didn't work out quite how I wanted. We also added some fresh pineapple juice directly in. Still didn't really seem to change things. I guess we'll wait and see on that one. Maybe add a little bit of fresh pineapple into that jar and see if it changes. But for now, it looks like we're pretty much spent on this run. We've accomplished a pretty good goal here. I think overall, a lot of our tests have worked pretty effectively and managed to be also tasty. I think top winner, definitely in terms of flavor, is gonna be our cherry coconut. I think that pairs so well. Both are coming over pretty well. I'm also loving the color of that one. So honestly, between these all, I think that wins color as well. Second place is gonna go to strawberries and cream, but it just didn't really meet that color. So we're happy with what we got here. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. I hope you enjoyed the video. I wish you the best of luck on your own infusions. If you're trying this at home, try some blue, try some greens, and try to fit a theme as well. You can have some fun with this one. So hope you enjoyed the run, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.